Hi friends, it's Julia Sudo here with more Super Monkey Ball Deluxe, ported to the Nintendo GameCube by BrandonSMB and others. Um, we are on World 7. Uh, so World 7 is going to start off with something quite iconic, let's say, Exam C. Um, an infamously hard level, especially in Deluxe, because the controls are bad in Deluxe. In the original version of Deluxe, the analog stick dead zones are off, but thankfully they aren't in this version, and that is not a way in which I normally die. You can rest assured. I'm actually quite used to Exam C. I guess not this version of Exam C. I do normally play on the Monkey Mall version, which is in challenge mode, and the original Monkey Ball. So forgive me, I really should not be doing this poorly. But you can rest assured that it is likely due to my tiredness or otherwise just... I'm not going to make excuses, honestly. You know I'm terrible at video games. This is what I like to remind my viewers anytime I have the chance, that I am terrible at video games, so you shouldn't expect much out of me. That said, I still think I can make it to the end of this without dying. That's my goal. And I can even do so without coming close to the timer running out, which was not something that I was able to accomplish for many years. We are then going to continue on to Skeleton. I guess we're just kind of going in the order of the Super Monkey Ball 1 stages at this point. So we're going straight on to Skeleton, which is one of the stages. It's the stage that is after... Actually, we'll do it the normal way, because that's kind of what we've been doing. And then when I do challenge mode, I'll do all the skips. But yeah, this is sort of one of the... This is the level that's right after Exam C in challenge mode. And I really should not be dying on it, of all stages, because normally I'm actually decent at these stages. I guess the fact that I have to keep in mind that the camera is also quite a bit different in the second game, which is likely leading to some of my unfamiliarity with what's going on here, though. Again, I won't make excuses. I do have to ask, does this stage intentionally have a 60-second time limit here? Because if I'm not mistaken, in the normal version has a 30-second time limit. But that may have been changed in story mode or in Deluxe, I'm not sure. But that stage definitely normally has a 30-second time limit in Super Monkey Ball 1. So I just wanted to bring that up. Here's Tracks. It is the stage that exists to say fuck you after you finished Exam C. It has been retextured here, I believe, to make it a little more washing machine-y. And that's fun. Oh, it doesn't have the shiny paths anymore, which is a valid choice, I think. Since shiny paths are not really a thing you normally see on washing machine stages. That was a bad performance of mine, so I'm going to go on 0.3 instead to show my viewers that I am good at video games, actually. Though, I'll let you know that I'm actually not. That's the disclaimer that goes in front of all Julia Suda videos. But yeah, I still can be okay at video games sometimes, or I can just die right at the end. Alright, well, we'll make a compromise, or we'll just die immediately. I've actually tried to do the skip on here many, many times, where you jump over the barrier separating you and the goal at the start, which is something that very much exists, but that I have not actually been able to do successfully. I'm not really sure. I should probably just follow, like, more precise timing strats or something like that, which I assume exists at least to some extent, or at least some kind of more precise placement that is necessary to accomplish these things. But whatever. Finish the level. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Here's Downhill Hard. It's the hard version of Downhill. Compared to the regular Downhill, it's steeper, I think, and Most certainly it's got some, ooh, it's got new bumper designs, that's what it has. But it also just has bumpers, generally speaking. But yeah, like many of the backgrounds in Super Monkey Ball 2, there are originally no bumpers in this level theme, so they originally used these generic designs with B on top in the original Deluxe, but here they've been given new textures and models, which is really great. Um, Here's Gears. Uh, Once again, going to start off by showing that I'm bad at video games several times over. Um, and yeah, compared to other stages, Gears has a considerably larger number of gears on average. Yeah. So, this one's pretty simple. You kind of just go into the goal, and there's not that much more to say about it than that. Um, Destruction, this is the harder version of Collapse, and I am inclined to say that it has more color variance than it does in the original Deluxe in this level theme, because I'm pretty sure it's either all orange or all green, with not a lot of variation, although I could be mistaken about that, but certainly the texture work in Deluxe in many cases is nothing to be impressed with. So I think that's likely. Here's Invasion, stage with lots of bumpers. Oh yeah, the bumpers have like these little, they have like the window designs on them. I like that. It's good. In this case, the main strategy for the level is to go around the bumpers and not touch them. But yeah, like shout out to the texture work that's been upgraded. I really love how the bumpers have new unique models. I think that's really great. And just stages that have more visually interesting, even if destruction is unchanged. Certainly there's tracks and choice before it that got some significant design upgrades, and I like that personally as a player of Monkey Ball. Here's Diving. This stage you could not originally complete by holding up from the start, but in Deluxe you can, because that's kind of the thing. Wow, this is really lagging a lot. That may just be my bad computer and graphics card, or it may be a Deluxe issue, but just wanted to point it out. Here's Floor Slant. People have all kinds of wacko strategies, in my opinion, for this stage that involve bouncing down that are actually a lot faster than my preferred strategy since I was a tiny child, and their strategies are likely better if pulled off consistently. However, this is my strategy, so don't at me. Here's Tram. It's a stage in which you have to avoid some bumpers, like many of the stages in World 7. It seems that bumper avoidance is a key theme. I'm good at literary analysis because I'm a creative writing major. So I'm good at identifying the themes of various literature, including, but not limited to, Super Monkey Ball mods and also games that are not mods, such as the original Deluxe. But yeah, there's a washing machine here in which monkeys are, I think they do something with the washing machine. But for now, we're going to move on to World 8, which is the factory world. Of course, the first level of which is Swing Bar Long, the long version of Swing Bar, which also tilts a hell of a lot more and is often difficult to pull off for new players, as I remembered upon showing this game to my girlfriend, or not this game quite, but the original Monkey Ball. She had a lot of trouble with this, which I believe I also did as a child when I was first playing these games. It is difficult to deal with slants when one is new to Monkey Ball. That is kind of the thing. That is the key thing that I have learned by showing people this game, because people have a ton of trouble with floor bent also, which makes sense because there aren't a lot of levels like it before it with the curved surfaces in particular, not just slants but curves. That makes that particularly tough. that was Paperwork. It's a simple stage. Here's Twin Attacker. Unfortunately, the Deluxe mod developers were not able to include the missing sound effects. Also, the timing is off compared to Super Monkey Ball 1, which is likely to throw me off considerably, because I am used to having a certain strategy for this level, which is no longer possible, but I can still complete the level. But yeah, originally this level has sound effects. I believe the sound effects are hard-coded in Super Monkey Ball 1, so they didn't make it into Deluxe. And they're not here either, which is, of course, extremely understandable. Here's Sega logo. This one was definitely retextured. It's originally like it's originally blue, just like the desert version, but here it's been retextured to be gold, and it looks great, and it still has reflections. Shout out to reflections. Love reflections, as I have stated in some of my previous videos. Reflections are incredible. I do consider this to be a pretty difficult stage that I can die on when doing expert runs in Monkey Ball 1, but in this case I thankfully made it through without dying. Here's Snake. It's got some snake movement here. The platform's sort of sliding back and forth like a snake. That's why it's called Snake. Also, there are like little ridges next to on the starting platform there. Is that a new thing? I don't remember ever seeing those. And on the goal platform too, I thought the whole thing was flat. Is that a deluxe thing? Is it a story mode specific thing? Is it a new thing? I'm just curious. Here's Wind, which I, as a child, thought was wind. It's called Wind, but that is unlikely to be the case because it is more windy than anything resembling wind. So, yeah. Yeah, basically, this one's just a path. When showing this game to my girlfriend, she actually had a surprising amount of trouble to me on this level, which I consider to be trivial, and I think I've always considered it to be trivial since I first started playing. Of course, she had a lot less experience with the game because she managed to get through expert very fast compared to how I did as a child. Within the span of a couple of days, rather than maybe the span of a year or more. So I most likely had a lot more experience with the kind of skills that are necessary in Wind that she had not yet had, due to playing with Infinite Continues and so on. Here's Windy Slide. It is a stage in which there is a windy slide. I also thought this was Windy Slide, but again, Wind seems to make far more sense with what the level actually is, so that is what I choose to believe. Also, making it out of the pit in this case can be tough, but thankfully I did it without a problem, though I missed the time bonus, regrettably. Here's Fall Down. It's a stage in which you are, as the name implies, required to fall down a series of platforms, and I'm going to do that, believe it or not. There are many skips you can make in this level, but I made none of them, and you're all going to have to deal with that. Here's Twin Cross, a level that is pretty difficult. As much as I do warps when I have the chance here, though I will not do them when playing challenge mode as to play all stages and save my life, I'm going to do this, hopefully, which is very hard, the right side of Twin Cross. It is possible to just kind of, I hate to use this word considering how much of a undank memer it makes me sound like, but YOLO strats are very difficult to utilize on this stage, though possible. I do have a replay in at least one version of the game, which I have, that showcases me doing so-called YOLO strats on the stage on the right side, which may be the only way that I've actually ever done this, although I believe I've done it in a more legitimate manner in the past. It's difficult to do. It honestly surprises me how difficult this is, because it doesn't look like it'd be that much harder, I guess, though I do consider the regular level to be hard in its own right, so I suppose it makes sense. It is really tough, is the point. Really, really tough. And for every normal attempt that I do, I am also going to be required to attempt a YOLO strat. So you're going to have to bear with me on that. Thanks to these antics of mine, I believe I will be ending the video after finishing World 8, and I will pick back up next time with World 9 and 10, which are well known as worlds in Super Monkey Ball 2, as well as Deluxe. Yeah, saving yourself when you screw things up on this stage is exceptionally difficult. That was almost wild. Let's put that in the Deluxe compilation by Julia Sudo that will never be made because I'm not very good at this game. But yeah. Yeah, we're gonna keep going for this strat as long as I see fit, which is likely until I do it because I haven't given up on anything yet, and I would not like to make that a trend of giving up on the good shit, if you follow, because I even followed through with Advanced 11 Warp, which is one of the tougher things to do in the original Monkey Ball, and not just the original Monkey Ball though, it's one of the tougher things to do in Deluxe as well, even more so, because of the timing changes, which I discussed in the video that I did that level, which I think was the second one, Worlds 2 through 4, as that stage is in World 4 in story mode. Yes, YOLO strats or usual strats are both very difficult to attempt in this stage because it's just a hard level, particularly doing it this way. Though you can sort of save yourself in the way that I nearly managed to do there. The YOLO strats are very difficult. All strats are difficult on this stage, and that's again why I would just consider this a difficult stage without any further qualifier. Yeah, so completing this stage at times can be tough, and you know at this point I'm rambling, but that almost looked like I was gonna get it, and I would have, you know, really had to post my PogChamp reaction videos had I done it successfully. Unfortunately, in the absence of successful completion of Twin Cross, reaction videos will also not be produced by the Julia Sudo Let's Play channel, I guess. I don't do face cam because, I don't know, I don't have streaming equipment that I use. This series, if you can call it that, of all of my playthroughs made for the SMB level workshop has always been extremely low budget, so to speak, and I'm not really planning on changing that. The only thing that I am likely to change is the recording of game audio in addition to my voice, which is something that I really need to figure out. I am a Mac OS X user, and it is somewhat needlessly difficult to record desktop audio on this platform. Wow, I did it that time, and then I just pissed it away, so to speak, which is a bit distressing, if you ask me, because I overshot the goal. I'm not happy about this, but such is life. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. It is very difficult, so I'm having a difficult time doing these difficult tasks. I am sorry for taking so long on this level, though. I, again, would include a timestamp if the annotations feature had not been removed from YouTube a couple of years ago at this point. You know, at this point, I kind of just want to go for the YOLO strats because I even got them once. And I would really like to follow through with that if at all possible. Because I really did get it that one time and then overshot the goal by a considerable margin, which was really a distressing and upsetting experience for me. When it comes down to it, though, I do have to go at some point and finish this video. So I may eventually have my hand forced and just have to, you know, leave and do the level the normal way. Or at least not incessantly attempt YOLO strats that are unlikely to work. We're okay, though, for now. Fuck. That one was so close, y'all. I'm upset. So you can consider me upset. You can put that on my official statement that I was upset upon not completing Twin Cross in my preferred way, which is completion. I have low standards. You can call me a person with low standards if you would like, but I really do just want to complete the level and nothing more. In this way, I have done so. I have completed Twin Cross the hard way, and that's going to need a replay. Although I suppose this video will also serve as a replay in a certain sense. Here's Spiral Hard, which is going to be a very easy level to finish this off with, because as I talked about last video, I think I do know how to just kind of do this one, although I guess I have the timing a bit off. Again, it's going to be harder for me, and it's just this other level theme. But yeah, I can do Spiral Hard. If nothing else, I can still do Spiral Hard. So yeah, the factory is going to be destroyed, and we're going to continue on to World 9, which will not be played in this video. So tune in later, possibly tonight, for Worlds 9 and 10. Thanks for watching, friends.